Meteorologist Matt Holiner has some information on that. So Matt, what can you tell us?
Well, yes, the tornado threat has gone up for the valley because of this shift to the south. The northeast quadrant is the most dangerous part of the storm for tornadoes. Now, this is the overall tornado risk. Notice it's for much of the Texas coast. And actually, we still think the biggest risk, the center of that shade of yellow, is what we're most concerned about. So we still think the biggest risk for tornadoes is probably around the Corpus Christi area. But notice that we are included. And the biggest threat is actually in Cameron and Willacy County. As you go to the south and west, the tornado threat looks smaller, but it's definitely not zero. There is a chance of tornadoes for everyone in the valley this afternoon. This afternoon and really through the overnight hours. Until the storm gets completely west of the valley, the threat for tornadoes is going to be there. Now, it's not high, but it is certainly there. What are we most concerned about? Lightning looks likely. Flooding looks likely. Damaging wind, just from the sustained and gusty winds. Wind damage, certainly a possibility. Power outages look likely. But if there are tornadoes, obviously the threat for power outages go up. And that is a possibility through the overnight hours tonight. Of course, we're going to have much more right after the break.
Meteorologist Matt Holiner is in with us this morning. Now, Matt, take us hour by hour. Tell us what we can expect for the rest of the day as far as that rainfall rate is concerned.
Yeah, I've been looking over the high-resolution models that are coming in that run more frequently, and this is the latest one we got, so this is our best estimate right now for how the rain is going to be moving across the valley. Those outer bands are starting to move in now, so really the threat is beginning now. At this point, really not worth venturing out. Maybe you still can for a little bit longer in Hidalgo and Starr County, but things are already deteriorating across Cameron and Willacy County. And let's go through the day, every 3 hours. 2 p.m. still mainly in Cameron and Willacy County, but as we push into the later afternoon, the rainfall intensity picking up in Cameron and Willacy County and those outer bands pushing more into Hidalgo and Starr County. But this isn't going to be the worst of it yet. No, things still continuing to get worse at 8 o'clock this evening. When do we think currently is going to be the worst conditions? When is the storm going to be right over us? And hopefully this doesn't happen. Hopefully it keeps moving west and doesn't take this southwesterly turn. We think about 11 o'clock tonight, widespread heavy rain across the valley and gusts in many locations 50 to 70 miles per hour. Still very wet at 2 a.m. tonight, but after 2 a.m., so late this evening through the early overnight hours, looks like the worst of it. After 2 a.m., we expect gradual, but we mean very gradual improvement. At 5 a.m., still widespread heavy rain. Now, it's not going to rain continuously. There are probably going to be bands. That's what's kind of being indicated by these yellow and orange. But if one band stays in one spot too long, there is going to be perhaps extreme flooding. Notice 8 a.m. still very wet tomorrow morning, but as we go through the day tomorrow, less and less. Now, still pockets of heavy rain possible throughout the day, but the threat for heavy rain becomes less and less as we go into the afternoon hours. So we think wetter Sunday morning than Sunday afternoon. Now, is there still a chance of rain Sunday night? Yes, but by then the storm far enough away that the heaviest rain threat starting to go down. Not completely zero, but going down. What are we expecting as far as rainfall amounts? Well, we think in most places in the valley, 6 to 9 inches of rain. And that already, especially in low-lying and poorly drained locations, will cause flooding. But hopefully just mainly minor flooding. And if you just get 3 inches of rain, which is a best case scenario, there are indications that some spots of the valley may only get 3 inches of rain, then you wouldn't be worried about flooding at all. But unfortunately, models continue to indicate that up to 18 inches of rain could fall in a few locations. That would result in extreme flooding, the kind of flooding like we saw the last 2 Junes. The June flooding situation that we saw last June is a possibility in a few spots in the valley. Now, for more on the weather in Spanish, we're going to send it over to forecaster Sergio Puente.